Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mr. Beard. I want to make this video and now I'm not on the stress test, alright? Just don't get your hopes up that you're gonna see something in this video that's on the stress test. I recommend going to all the other amazing content creators and see what they put out on the stress test, right? Now I want to talk in this video about something important I talked about in one of my latest videos on the channel, which I played Baby in that video, and I talked about it at the end of that video, and I think what I said there needs its own special video because I think it's really important to talk about that. What I want to say in this video is why I bought the Isle. I bought the Isle to be a dinosaur. Back in 2000 something, when I was a little kid, before the Isle existed, before any dinosaur game except Jurassic Park and those type of games existed, well, they existed back then when I was a kid, I really wished there's a game where you can play as a dinosaur. And I remember seeing the trailer of Jurassic Park Operation Genesis when I was a kid, and I was like, oh my god. And I've seen the Rex and the Trike and all of those guys, and I got so excited about it. I thought you were gonna be able to play as a dinosaur, and I got the game. And while I wasn't able to play as a dinosaur, I enjoyed that game very, very much. And I remember at around that time, I was like 10, 11, 12, something like that. I had a dream, and I still remember that dream very clearly because it's one of the reasons I bought the Isle. That dream, I was a Rex in the old redwood forests of the Isle. That dream wasn't about the Isle, but I'm just trying to explain to you guys how it looked to me. A Rex, probably it was more the Rex from Saurian rather than anything, with the same animations and stuff, the smoothness of it. It was a featherless Rex. I was playing it in the old redwoods forest on the Isle V3, the old Isle V3. Remember those big redwood forests next to Center Lake? Yeah, I was kinda there. And I remember when the Isle came out and I saw my dream be represented in a game, I just couldn't believe it, right? I've seen the gaming beaver play it as a human and then as a dinosaur, and I was like, I still remember the happiness I had in me when I was a kid, and I was like, oh my god, there's a game where you can actually play as a dinosaur finally. And I wasn't able to buy the game till the summer of 2016 when I had the money for it and the game was on sale, and I bought it, and my first dinosaur was all the Allosaurus. 2016 was a long time ago, and the game came a very long way. Like people who remember where the Isle started and where it is today is just amazing. I couldn't tell you how happy I am to see the game where it is now. Just look at the image in front of you right now. Look at those trees in the distance and tell me this is not like a movie scene. Literally. And the fact you can go there as like this dino, I can bring it up there into that forest, into that fog. And what I talked about in the Baby video is that people forgot why they bought this game. I see a lot of people complain that, you know, stamina, they can't get food and water, and about the player count, not being enough players in a server, and they're just alone in nature and stuff like that. And I understand this is a game and you buy the game to be entertained, but this is not a game that's like, I don't know, Counter-Strike or Red Dead Redemption or anything of those sorts. This is a game where you're a creature, an animal, and you just try to live your life and survive. Now, surviving as an animal doesn't always mean you're gonna see other dinosaurs around, other animals around. Look how beautiful that is. You know, you could go a lot and play a lot of time into this game without seeing anybody or hearing anything. And look, we can see frogs, AIs running around, you can see pterodactyls when you kill something, compies, which bring the world to life, right? But this comes from a person that's spent this year, 2023, I probably spent more than 30 days and nights included of those days fishing outside in nature, right? I was outside fishing. Look, there's a frog. Hi, Pepe. And I can tell you how many animals I've seen. People complain they can't fly with a Terra a lot, right? Terra should be able to fly around constant. Well, in my opinion, that's not how that should work, because being an animal, being a dinosaur, being a creature, whatever you are, a dino, a Terra, a raptor, a Megalania, a T-Rex, your life won't be full of fights. Your life won't be full of action. Have you ever watched, before Dino came out in this game, I watched a lot of documentaries on crocodiles and alligators because I absolutely love those animals. And to be honest with you, I think I've seen a documentary on how crocodiles in the Nile River, when the Great Migration happens, they kill like over 100 things. Like they just gather together and kill as much things they can to get food and to just survive, because they spend probably, I don't know, like 3 months, 4 months, 6 months without basically eating anything, or they eat what they can, because that's how nature is, you know. Look at my Dinosuchus right now. There's no dinosaurs in the area where I am. I'm playing a dino just because I enjoy looking at my Dinosuchus. I enjoy looking at it swim through the waters. Look how beautiful the water is. Look at nature, and I just want to get immersed. And I feel like a lot of players forgot the idea that playing this game, you're supposed to relax. Playing this game, you're supposed to get immersed in. Look at the nature, look at the sunlight hit the rocks in front of me. Look at the water, listen to the water just flow down the river, me swimming through it. A lot of people forget. Look, I heard a little birds in the trees. And this is basically why we play this game, right? Because, well, at least I think that's why we should play the game, and we should get the idea out of our heads that this game is full of, should, you know, have a lot of dinosaurs around us, like push the servers to 200 players so we see more players. I don't think that's a great idea, right? Because this game is not supposed to be competitive. It's not supposed to be fights all around the corners. You're not supposed to see bodies everywhere in nature. You're supposed to be a dinosaur. And why I brought the fishing part where I went fishing, I don't think I've seen more than 5 birds a day fly. And I think I've seen more in trees or on the ground pecking, right? I haven't seen birds fly non-stop in the sky, because those birds, people who live in the cities, right? People who live at the countryside, you see pigeons. You see, I think I've seen more pigeons in my life sit on top of a building just chilling rather than just fly, right? Because that's what birds do. When you play as a Ptera in this game, you shouldn't have in your mind to fly around the map constantly, because that's not what birds do. And again, I'm sorry if I refer to a Ptera as a bird. I don't know if it counts as a bird. I just call it a bird because it flies and it's easier. A Ptera should, you know, chill in a tree up there or on rocks and, you know, just admire the view, right? You can go down, get a fish and go back up there, right? Maybe you're playing with a friend. You can just relax, wait for day to pass. And that's basically what it means to be an animal. That's what it means to be a dinosaur. That's what it means to play this game, in my opinion. That's why I feel like the players should calm down when it comes to combat players. Now, I'm not condemning you if you like that. I love combat, right? I love getting into fights. And trust me, when Alberto comes, when Alo comes, Acros, Spinos, Rexes, there's gonna be fights happening on the map. But look at TV series like Prehistoric Kingdom and that T-Rex scene and dinosaur scene. They show us not only the fights, but how those dinosaurs spend their time in nature. You see them nest, you see them travel long distances, you see them drink water, relax, make friends. And sure, sometimes you see fights happen, right? Nature is unpredictable. You can be a dinosaur, come drink water, and me as a Dinosuchus, I just grab you and that's the end of it. That's all the combat there was. It was a tense scene where you died because I grabbed you and drowned you, right? But we shouldn't forget what happens before that and after that. Before that, me as a dino, I went up and down this river many times just, you know, enjoying being a Dinosuchus. I've seen things, I heard things, I swam through the water, I've seen the birds, maybe I've seen a Herrera up there in the tree. I chilled with it. That thing, I killed, let's say, a raptor. That raptor probably had friends up there, or who knows what story it had behind of the dinosaur. And I feel like that's what we should do as players, create our own stories through our dinosaurs. I've been to the south, I've seen the rivers, I've seen the Nontos running away from something, I've seen herds of dinosaurs graze peacefully. I've seen babies being born, I've seen babies die, I've seen egg stealers, I've seen birds in the trees, I've seen Herreras, 5 of them in that tree. That was something to remember, right? Because fights will happen, but I don't think fights should be a major part of this game, because that's not what makes the Isle fun. And that's not why I bought the game in the past. I remember having this idea in my head when I was a kid and I saw the Isle, that I want to buy the game, be an Allosaurus. I always liked being a dinosaur, a carnivore that's not the best, but in the middle, right? That's why I picked the Allosaurus, because it's not the strongest, but it's big enough to cause fear to some dinosaurs. And I had this idea in my head and this idea comes from that series back in the day with that Allosaurus that had, like, I think its jaw was broken. Did anybody see that on YouTube? Some of you probably have. I've seen that Allo, I think, sit under a tree just relaxing, and I had this idea in my head that I'm gonna play an Allo, kill something, take it under the tree with me, and just relax and sleep there. And that brought joy to me, right? Because to me, being a dinosaur, chilling under a tree in the sunlight, under probably the shade of a tree with an Allosaurus, just watching things. Did I see something in the water there? Yeah, I did, and it's very fast, and I won't be able to grab it. Probably is gonna drink. Oh my god, a lot of fishes here. I don't know what that was. But back to my idea. Being an Allosaurus chilling under the shade just seems relaxing to me, and that's enough gameplay for me to make me happy. And I feel like that's what this game is all about, right? Being a dinosaur, being an animal. How many times have you been in a forest with friends or alone, went through a field, went through nature, basically, spent time in nature? How many times have you seen a bear or wolves or snakes or anything of that sort? Maybe some of you have went many times in the forests and have seen absolutely no animal, because animals aren't at every corner of nature, right? Animals aren't everywhere, in each tree, in each grass, in each burrow. Animals aren't like that. Animals are scarce, right? As many as they are on planet Earth, they are scarce. Like, I've never seen a bear when I went in a forest. And in this game, in the Isle, when I go in a forest as a raptor, I'll probably never see a Rex or never encounter a Rex, right? Because that's not how nature is. Rex is somewhere, it exists. I might run into it, but I shouldn't have the idea in mind to go in a forest just to see a Rex, right? I go in a forest to see the nature, to hunt. I don't know what's on my diet, like a deer or a bird. That's on my diet. That's AI or a frog, right? Austros, for example, they go in the swamp to hunt frogs and make a nest there, chill with friends, maybe search for a mate to have eggs with, right? And I feel like that's how we should play this game, right? I don't know if a lot of you share this idea. Maybe not. Maybe you like combat more. And again, that's, if you like that, this game, I think, will offer that to a lot of you. Like, if you're gonna play a Rex and you like combat, you should go for it. Like, go and kill people. Why not? Everybody makes their fun out of games, right? Everybody enjoys games differently. But for me, the Isle is more than combat, right? Combat for me is like 10% of this game. Killing something is probably 5% of the game. I remember in Legacy, I was a Rex and I heard herds in the distance, and I was a hungry Rex, right? And I enjoyed the process of tracking those dinosaurs, seeing them from afar, just coming out, and I see them just prepared to defend. And at a point, I killed a para, right? Because we can drag corpses. Imagine when Rex comes and para comes, you're gonna kill a para from a herd and just drag it away from the herd. The herd will leave, and it's just going to be you, the Rex, versus the kill you have in front of you. And just sitting down next to that kill, being happy you're not gonna starve to death, and just enjoying life, right? Looking at the stars above you, listening to nature, seeing dinosaurs come and go, seeing birds fly and sit in trees. Maybe a Hera comes, you give him some food and he's on his way, right? The Isle to me is like a story, right? It's like a beautiful, relaxing story where you go through nature as anything you want. A dino, a raptor, an Ava, a Hipsy, right? Nobody nobody holds you back to enjoy what you enjoy in this game. You can go everywhere you want. It gives you the freedom to go everywhere you want. It gives you, maybe you make bad choices sometimes, maybe you make good choices sometimes. It's maybe about luck, it's maybe about knowing the map, it's knowing how to fight, not knowing how to fight, but it's overall survival. When you feed a cat on the streets, you're gonna see that cat eat, go drink water, and it's probably going to go somewhere and sleep all day, right? And that's life for a cat. You won't expect that cat to eat, drink, and then go search for more food, go kill more birds, more mice and stuff like that. That cat is probably gonna eat today very good, and is just gonna go through the garden, climb a tree, and sleep. And that's the life of an animal, right? And we in this game are animals, because after all, I'm a crocodile. Look, I haven't seen anybody around me with a Dinosaurus, and I'm happy, right? I got to swim and be a crocodile. Why did I watch those documentaries about crocodiles? Because I just enjoyed looking at them. And it's as simple as that, right? I just enjoyed looking at a crocodile, seeing it in water, seeing it chill in the sun with its mouth open. And I just enjoy that. That's why I watched crocodiles, because I enjoy looking at crocodiles. And now I'm a crocodile. Look, I can go myself on the shore, drag my body like this, and just relax under the night sky as a crocodile, right? And this is the isle to me, right? This is what it means to be a dinosaur or an animal or a bird. You go explore the island, you go enjoy this game at its fullest, right? As a bird, you're gonna see herds migrate, and you're gonna go eat frogs in the swamp and then relax under a tree. Maybe you go see the ocean, right? How many of you, oh my, how many of you have went with any dinosaur in this to see the ocean? I don't think a lot of you have done that, right? Like, honestly, tell me down in the comments how many of you have enjoyed the oceans of the Isle. To get to this river where I am right now, I had to go through the ocean. And when I tell you I was amazed of how deep the ocean is and how calm the waters are and how it made me feel. It gave me that sense of, oh my god, the ocean's big and I'm just a small little dino in this big ocean. And I'm just gonna show you some pictures I took when I was in the ocean as a dino. And tell me this doesn't terrify you and also brings you a sense of, wait a second, I'm in nature. There could be a big mosasaurus out there, or whales, or ships, because humans exist in this universe. There could be a lot of things out there that can literally kill me, and I probably can kill them too if they're small and stuff like that, right? Exploring the map of this game feels beautiful. Like, I can't get tired of seeing the rays of the sun just go through the trees, the fog up there in those hills just gives me a sense of joy. I think no game, probably Red Dead Redemption, right? It's something you compare to Red Dead Redemption when you just ride your horse through the woods and trees and the paths that go in the mountains, in the snowy mountains, and back to the hot weathers of New Austin, right? And this game is just beautiful like that. It's relaxing, it gives you a sense of joy, it makes you feel like a dinosaur. And that's what it means to me to be a dinosaur. Just relax and be happy. That you can experience life as a creature that just tries to live, just like humans. They all try to live. This dino tries to live and enjoy life. Like, not only us humans are part of, you know, the hardness of life. Like, this dino enjoys the air and the trees and the wind just as much as a Ptera enjoys the wind and the sun. Just as a T-Rex will enjoy a sun or shade under a tree. How Dryos will enjoy being safe in a burrow, away from danger. How Hereras will chill up in trees and be happy that they're dinosaurs, right? And I feel like we should remember why we bought this game. I mean, some of you probably. Like, why I bought this game is just to relax as a dinosaur. Being up in this grass as a dino, just relax. Listen to the water, listen to the fishes. See the world around us, just the nature. And it's calming and it's beautiful. And that's what I wanted to talk in this video about. It wasn't really that informative when it comes to the Isle. It's just my experience with this game and everything I feel about being a dinosaur or an animal. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. It was me, Mr. Beard. Tell me what you think down in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video, boys. See ya, boys.